Check out this little dude just hanging out here. Pretty cool. Check this out, guys. Look at this. Right on the beach here. It's a nice little find. Looks like 6 cents. Yep, 6 cents right there. Boy, there was a lot of rain last night and a tornado just dropped east of here. Check out that forest. Isn't that a cool spot? Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure. We're up here on the big lake today. Hopefully we're gonna catch some stuff after these big rainstorms. Gonna be throwing all kinds of stuff. So buckle up and sit tight and get ready to have some fun. Hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. My name's Alan. I'm usually making some kind of fishing video, and I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out. All right, let's get to it. All right, guys, it's raining, but I'm gonna show you this little sneaky jig trick. See right there on the bottom? I've got dental rubber bands, and I slide them over first, then I slide on my soft plastic, and then I slide under a little rattle under there. I never put the rattle in the plastic. I know there's some companies that sell a little tool that you can inject it in there. I don't ever do that. This is so easy and so cheap. This is a Booyah Mobster. Thinned out the weed guard. Look how soft that is. Perfect for swim jigs. And then I've got the skirt on these is real thin anyway, which is perfect. Then I got a 3-inch Charlie Brewer Slider Company grub. Perfect little setup. And just a little tick, 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 tick. Those shad make kind of like these little clicky sounds. And so do the crawfish. The crawfish are a different clicky sound, but anyway, pretty cool. There's a little jig tip for you. These little trailers right here are perfect. If I want the big wagging paddle tails, I'll use the Big Joshies or the Mega Bass Spark Shad or like a Rhythm Wave. But for subtlety, I'll use little ones like this. And of course my Berkeley Power Stinger. I'll also throw on a Biospawn Exo Stick. Cut the back end off or the top off. Just use the back end. Use a little Berkeley, little General. There's a lot of little tricks you can use. But I swim just about every single jig. You've heard me preach that over and over. But this is if you have murky water like this. You have a little tick, 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 tick in there. Those dental rubber bands, you can get those, tons of them for next to nothing. And then of course the rattles, same thing. If you want more rattle, get the bigger size. All right, boys, we're hooked up on the Coda Lures black and blue. Let's go. We got him. We had so much rain I couldn't get down to the shoreline there. See, it's just sheer mud. Check that out. Check that out, guys. That's that Coda Lures jig right there with a RoboWorm trailer. All right, guys, there we go. Not a bad fish. What, about 15, 16? Let's get her back in the water for the release. There she goes. All right, guys, there it is. Here's what the trailer was, just a little RoboWorm. That's another little sneaky trick, is to change up your trailers. Try stuff that you had never used before. So with this guy, I had thinned out the weed guard, thinned out the skirt. That way it doesn't mess up the action back here, and so it doesn't mess up the action with itself. So, and I swim everything. This is just a perfect little jig. It's got that owner jungle hook in there. And like I was saying before, I'll swim football heads, I'll swim pitching, flipping jigs, so structure jigs. I just swim them all. You can see what it did right there. Man, that's a great color right there. Go check out Coda Lures. That owner jungle hook, that's never gonna bend out, ever. All right, guys, here I got the trailer back on there. So this is a Coda Lures Apex all-purpose jig. So like I was saying, that's a little sneaky trick. Change up your trailers. I love this hook, this jungle hook. Never fails me. All right, what's another little sneaky trailer? So this is a Beast Coast working man's jig, straight out of the package, thinned up the weed guard. Now this is a swim jig, but look at that trailer. Matches it perfectly. This is from Charlie Brewer, the slider company. It's a little 3-inch grub. They have 4-inch grubs, but that pairs up perfectly with that. And kind of like what I did with this other one, this is a Bill Lowen, one of his jigs, and I put a man's jelly worm. I caught a ton of fish on this. It's all banged up. He's got tinsel in there. I thinned the skirt out. His weed guards come out of the package, work just fine, but I did thin it out just a hair. So anyway, there's my little sneaky tip. I'm sure people have said all kinds of things similar to that, but just in case you cruise through here and you are wondering, that's a great way to change up a look. I mean, look how dark the water is here because of the storms. Nasty tornado that was out here last evening, but look at that. So you can swim them. That's a key thing right there, is that I mean, once in a while I'll hop them and let them sit there, but I'm usually swimming the jigs, all types. Yeah, a bit of a cool front coming through, and it's got everything churned up. We had that rain. So the deal with the swim jigs, sometimes I'll start out with them as I get the day rolling, but a lot of times they're my go-to when nothing's biting. They're my, let's see if we can get something. I don't talk about it too much, but I guess it doesn't matter if word gets out. So MEPs are the other ones. I know a lot of people realize how dangerous and awesome the inline spinners are, but man, the MEPs have come in clutch for me. But I'll throw all kinds of stuff, and then if things aren't really working well and it's stingy, I'll go to the swim jig. Bucktail jigs, hair jigs. So you just gotta be patient with it. You're not rushing through. There's once in a while I'll burn it. Man, I could see just a ton of fish right down there. I don't know, there's like a young carp, like fingerlings. So, and I'll match a hatch too. Main colors are going to be black and blue, black and purple, any kind of bluegill, orangey, green pumpkin mix, white, different shades of white. I catch a ton of fish on white. So I prefer the swim jig. I can use it like a pitching and flipping jig, kill it and let it sit there. Now, it may not be as effective, but it'll work. But most of the time I'm just swimming it. And it can be a violent hit like that one that I had. I mean, it was just bam. And then with all that mud, normally I'd be down on the bank. I wouldn't pull one up that far, but it's just such a sloppy mess. Yeah, guys, it amazes me, especially down here in Texas, that you don't have more people using a swim jig. I mean, they'll pitch and flip and that kind of stuff, but just straight up swim it. And the thing about it is, I catch big fish, in between fish, yeah, some small fish, but I also catch crappie. That these titanic crappie will hit a jig. And the cool thing about it is I like the there's different techniques with the different weights, you know? So like the 1/4 ounce, you can just float it over stuff through the grass. 3/8, even 1/2 ounce, get that further down in there. Swim it along. The football jigs, I love swimming those because I let them crash around in the rock down there, especially when I'm up in Iowa. But even down here, it doesn't have a weed guard, but it's no big deal. That's how come here I thin those weed guards down so much on the swim jigs, because it helps it get through the water. It's like a little rudder or keel. Now these other ones, you don't really need that. But like this guy, I've got the weed guard thinned down so much that it's not gonna affect the catch ever. They'll hit that thing so hard, and I can still get it through all the cabbage it's here and there. All right, guys, it's gonna wrap it up for me for today. Thanks for hanging out with me as I was working on these little jig tips. Just have fun with them. I'm no expert. 3 things to remember: swim them all, eyes make a difference, change up your trailers, and just have fun. And that's where I've come to, over the years, just catch a ton of fish doing that. My favorite trailers are going to be the Berkeley Power Stinger, the Charlie Brewer stuff, but I changed things up quite a bit. The old Reaction Innovations, Beavers, all the different ones that they've got, I've used them, just all kinds of stuff over the years, but I usually come back to the same ones. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Go tie some on and go have some fun. Bye-bye. Now get out there and get your lures wet.